Lifeway CEO Julie Smolansky, nice to see you here at the Fortune Most Powerful Women Summit in DC.
Thank you.
So your company is really capitalizing on this healthy food trend that we're seeing, and you mentioned at your panel earlier today that you think millennials are really changing the approach to food. So what did you mean by that?
So millennials these days are significantly more open-minded than generations in the past. They're looking for challenging taste profiles. They're open-minded to trying new things, and they want to be considered influencers and tastemakers in food. Everyone's a foodie today. Everyone wants to share their pictures on social media of all the interesting foods that they're eating. And the fact that information is so easily accessible now in the palm of our hands makes their ability to make better food choices significantly easier. 20 years ago, we didn't know what was in our food. We didn't know if it was bad or good. We had to wait for like a special on one of the top 3 news networks, or wait for a story to come out in one of the newspapers. Now you can just Google it while you're making grocery store decisions in the palm of your hands, and that's really changed, the biggest game changer. Of course, new research is coming out constantly. Something we're really excited about at Lifeway is the fact that there's now research showing that literally food makes us feel good or bad mentally. So folks with the most diverse microbiome and healthy gut flora in their stomach actually feel better. So the fact that we could kind of manipulate our mental health with the foods that we eat is a huge breakthrough.
And your foods are kefir, you have probiotics in them, and there's been a lot of buzz about how good that is.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, you think about growing your company, do you want to be a niche player, or is your goal to get in every mass supermarket in the US?
Yeah. Well, we are in the majority of all grocery stores.
Publix, you just signed an agreement with.
We're in Publix, we're in Walmart. Actually, we've been in all these grocery stores for well over 25 years. However, they're expanding those sets significantly. Walmart has just doubled our SKUs nationwide, now taking on some of our newer products, like the products for children, ProBugs, and our newest innovation, a high-protein probiotic kefir. We do want to continue to be entrepreneurial and innovative and continue with our cult following, but we want to open that up and make sure that all consumers have access to better food choices, have access to our products. It's really not fair that only select group of consumers have access to healthy food. We really need to change that narrative and make sure that all consumers, all kids, have access to better food choices.
Do you feel that you will remain independent? Can you grow as you are now, or would you consider partnering with a larger food company that has bigger distribution channels, more global, for instance?
Well, I think it's a lot easier to become global in today's market. I think countries are significantly more willing to trade and open their doors to different companies, even from the United States. And the fact that even like the demand for dairy globally is growing dramatically. There's a big push for and demand for protein, which is driving that dairy consumption. I mean, one of the things that we feel at Lifeway that's a huge attribute that we have is the fact that we are independent and have the ability to be quick and nimble and respond to trends that are happening on the spot, like within a few days or weeks.
So you don't need anybody, it doesn't sound like.
So I mean, we're in the sweet spot. I would say we're in that middle market where we're not a startup anymore. We have 30 years of history behind us. We also can leverage our known brand within a section of the food space, which is in the natural and organic space. And we're still quick and nimble, which I think that actually could be a hindrance when you partner with a larger company, and now there's layers of bureaucracy.
Because you also have the #1 market share in kefir.
Correct.
And you had mentioned earlier that you see that probiotics market expanding greatly over the next couple of years, doubling in fact.
Absolutely. It's going to go from a $25 billion industry today to a $50 billion industry by 2020. So yeah, I mean, again, that science and that research is driving that demand all around the world, and we know that we could feel better from reducing obesity to diabetes, reducing cholesterol, reducing all the different side effects from overuse of antibiotics. Like there's just such a huge range of health conditions that a product like ours can really solve an issue around.
Julie Smolansky, thanks so much for your time. Good talking.
Thanks, my pleasure.